Good evening. Welcome to the regular council meeting of Monday, November 21st, 2016. I'm Mayor Ted Schaefer, and with me this evening are my council colleagues, Councillor Jack Arnold, Councillor Paul Albrecht, Councillor Rudy Stortaboom, Councillor Gail Martin, Councillor Val Vandenbroek, and Councillor Nathan Pahal. On the staff table, we have Darren Light, who is our Director of Corporate Services, Carolyn Michaud, Manager of Legislative Services, and we have Roy Bedo, Deputy Director of Development Services and Economic Development. At the other table, we have Chief Administrative Officer Francis Chung. We have Rick Baumhoff, Director of Engineering, Parks and Environment, and Kim Hilton, Director of Recreation, Culture and Community Services. The first item that we are dealing with today at the regular meeting is the Committee of the Whole. Council will move into a Committee of the Whole meeting. The Committee of the Whole meeting provides Council the opportunity to hear input from the public and allows Council a greater opportunity to speak and debate specific agenda items. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Vandenbroek, Councillor Martin. And so the item that we are dealing with is Development DP. I need a motion. All in favor? It's all in favor. Thank you. Development Permit DP 09-16 at 20286 Michaud Crescent, and David Daniluk is the architect, and he will present this application. David. And don't forget to speak right into that mic.
Okay. Thank you, Your Worship, and good evening, everybody. I think we will obviously deal with the site plan, and I'm sure we're all familiar with the location and so forth, but I'll run through quickly with the arrangement. We've got thank you. We have Michaud Crescent on the north, east side. We have 203rd Street. On the west is a laneway that will be upgraded to official lane status. And then on the south side, there's a commercial building. So now this building is a 4-story building, including the parkade level. The parking is totally under the building, and it's actually surface parking. It's not built into the ground. And the building will have 7 2-bedroom apartment units. This is an aerial of the site, and the parkade level diagram. It's it has 10 parking stalls, 2 of which are designated for visitor parking. Access to the parkade will be off of the lane and through a set of 2 overhead doors, one here and one here. And all of the doors will be, of course, will be automatically controlled and secure with FOB keyless entry, and as well as the through the man doors, one on the exiting out onto Michaud, and the second one exiting out through the laneway. The elevator for the parkade is in this location, and the reason it's over here versus the usual location in the lobby is because the site is so small. It's very restrictive with the amount of parking that we can get on the property, and as you can see by the layout, with the 10 parking stalls, that's pretty well what we get. But back to the elevator, we did try to put it in this area, but by doing that, it meant that we would not get the amount of parking required for this building. So we elected to put it off in this corner on the side of the building, south side of the building. So now all of the entry doors will be secure and CCTV monitored. The second floor plan and the third floor plan are basically identical, with the exception of this stairway here is not on the third floor, and that allows this third floor unit to be slightly larger because of that. As I mentioned, all the units are 2-bedroom. The second floor and third floor both have 3 units, and the top floor, the fourth floor, again, is a 2-bedroom unit. The units range in size from between about 950 square feet roughly, upwards of about 2,500 square feet on the top floor. The top floor will also have a roof garden, and that roof garden can be used for either vegetable growing or a combination of vegetables and landscape garden for enjoyment. The building elevations, this elevation is 203rd Street. The other elevation is the laneway. Access to the parkade is through this door here. And the design of the building basically features fairly large windows on each level, and large balconies, and a series of stepping of the building along 203rd Street, and somewhat on the Michaud elevation as well. And the reason is because of the positioning of those 2 roadways. It creates kind of a triangular lot, and in order to create more interest in the building and maximize the amount of windows, I decided to create a series of stepping in the facade, and that also it breaks up the massing of the building on that side, as well as it creates interesting shadow features. On the Michaud elevation, similar situation. We have fairly large balconies, and on that side of the building, it more or less parallels Michaud, but again, it steps somewhat. In particular, on the ground level, where we have the parking portion, this is open with a metal grid system, and that allows for a very good security vision in both in and out of the parkade. And as well, it creates a different aesthetic to the building compared to what's on 203rd Street. Now, the glazing on the ground level, this is all the parkade in here, with the exception of this area is the lobby. But these windows represent the area where the parkade is. But the glass is one-way see-through. Again, it's for security, so people can see out from the parkade and not in from outside. That's what the intention is. The coloring of the building, it's actually derived from a dried flower petal that I found, and the coloring at the base of the petal was the rust red, and then the colors faded to the tip in 3 different tones of brown. So I thought, well, that'd be a nice combination of coloring for this building. So that's what I've done here. Again, the landscape garden area would be in this area of the 4th floor. And this is the rendering. 203rd Street, Michaud over here. The landscaping shown on the wide sidewalk is meant to break up that expanse, and we have a series of planter nodes, and there'll be 6 trees, 4 along 203rd Street and 2 along Michaud. This is the landscape plan showing the planter nodes and the trees and the wide boulevard that we have here, the wide sidewalk that we have. There will be a series of bicycle racks. We have a grouping of 3 here and 2 over on this side adjacent to the wheelchair let-down. And back to the parkade, there will be bike racks there as well. We are required to have 4 for this building. So I've placed 2 over here on this side of the parkade, the west side, and 2 more adjacent to the elevator. So I apologize for the this spelling here, that E should not be in there. So SEPTED, crime prevention through environmental design. So under natural surveillance, what that means is, if we go back to this building, all of the units have fairly large windows for vision. So in other words, people living inside, they have a good view of what's happening on the outside. The same thing with the balconies. They're all large balconies. Natural access control points into the building. There's one main entry to the building at this point into the common lobby off of Michaud. And then as we go around the building, exiting from the building would be through a door here, and then another one on the back side of the building, through this point out of the parkade, and then the stairway. These doorways are all secure from the outside. In other words, there's no chance that anyone can open the door and go in. Territoriality, back to the windows again and the large balconies. It would give, the way it's designed is meant to give the residents a feeling that because they have such unobstructed view in these suites, that would psychologically give them that, should give them that feeling of that's their territory, their place. Maintenance and management, the idea is to provide a graffiti-free surface on the facade of the building. And then if there's any graffiti, it was hoped that within 48 hours that it can be removed. Sustainability, I've already talked about the parking, or the bicycle parking. For 4 in the building required, and then we would have additional bicycle racks on the 203rd Street side. Energy code requirements, we will be following the ASHRAE principles for under the new code requirements. Exterior lighting, this is something that City of Langley has been doing, I think, for a number of years now, where the lighting would be a downward lighting rather than projecting up, polluting the sky with light. And they would be, of course, to Langley's standards. Heat island effect. If we go back to the roof again, in this area where the garden would be, because of that, that would eliminate the amount or reduce the amount of built-up roofing, which obviously gathers heat on hot days. As well, the watering system would be would have a central control and rain sensors and an irrigation system. That way we're not wasting water. as well. Because the parking is under the building, there will be a limited amount of pavement, asphalt pavement, for the project. And so basically the amount of pavement we would have is, that would be exposed, would be somewhere in this area here, not including the lane upgrade. And with that, is there any questions?
Well, I'll let Mr. Beddoes do his presentation now, and alongside you there, and then I'll take the questions. Just switch chairs with Roy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to provide some context in terms of how the access to the site works, as there were a number of questions regarding the laneway and how access would function with this proposed development. I have a few slides here to show. So this first aerial just shows the subject property outlined in yellow, 20286 Michaud Crescent. And as mentioned by the applicant, access would be derived from the lane at the rear of the property, and the lane, of course, accesses Michaud Crescent here. There is a small lane dedication existing there right now. That's a dedicated road allowance. And then in addition, the area inside the red lines is a statutory right-of-way in favor of the city for public access that runs down over a portion of the subject property, as well as the properties moving south, as you can see here. And just to zoom in on that some more, that access right-of-way was to provide for public access to these properties as they developed. And as you can see, I guess over the years, portions of the right-of-way have been used for parking here, and then refuse removal bins on the existing city lane here as well. This just superimposes the footprint of the proposed building on the subject property. And you can see that the proposed building does extend further to the rear than the existing mixed-use building to the south here. And there's concern that in doing so, that would pinch the access to the extent that it would no longer function. However, as you can see with the red lines, the intention was to keep a corridor clear there for access. And with the removal of encroaching refuse removal bins and parking spaces, that area would be clear for access to the subject property as well as to the property to the south. And this is just the same image with the items labeled on it. And the property to the south, this is the actual site plan approved by the city about 20 years ago when that property was under application for development. The site plan shows the existing building roughly here. There's a parking area in front that's used by the commercial businesses, I believe, accessed off of 203rd Street here. And then in the rear of the site, the area is used for 2 rows of parking, I believe mainly for the residents. And in that original site plan, you can see there was some parking along the rear, the west property line at the rear of the site. And then there was a corner left here intended for the refuse removal bins. So that's the plan that was approved by the city at that time.
Thank you. Now, I'll You want to stay there, Roy, and Kate, just share the mic with David. To the corporate officer, has anybody asked to speak?
Council is in receipt of 4 letters of concern regarding various issues such as access, parking, location of the refuse bins, as Mr. Beto just pointed out, and sidewalk accessibility, all of which Council has a copy, and there is not currently anybody registered to speak.
And is currently no one on the list to speak? No. Okay, I'll take anybody from the audience who would like to come up and speak regarding this development. Council? Councillor Albrecht?
Yes, Mr. Beto, through the chair. Just for clarification, a typical lane width is 6 meters, and the access right-of-way is how wide?
The statutory right-of-way for public access is actually 7 meters wide. So just go back to this image here. So inside the red lines here was actually 7 meters, so roughly 24 feet.
Thank you.
Councillor Martin?
Thank you. If you could just keep that slide up, Mr. Beto. If you go back to the original plans for 5521, no, you don't have to go back to them. Stay on that one there. Where is the garbage bins supposed to be? I know where they are, but where are they supposed to be?
Yeah, they're in this area here in the original site plan.
On the original site plan. So would they still be on city property then?
No, that's on the private property, that area there.
So on
the property line is here. Sorry, it's a rather faint black line.
Okay.
That's the property line. So that was the area intended for the refuse removal.
So the refuse will have to be moved down to that spot there.
That's correct.
Okay, and to the developer, you said the visitor parking lot was underground. Yes. How does the visitors access it?
Pardon me?
How will the visitors access the underground parking?
They will come through, before going through the overhead, there'll be a small tower with remote control where they can contact the resident when they're visiting.
Just phone them or something?
Yes,
yeah,
and then the resident can open that first gate and then in they go.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Further? Councillor Pahal?
Thank you very much for that. Just a quick question then. The sidewalks, as I understand, will be significantly wider than they are currently if this proposal gets approved tonight. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Councillor Storteboom?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To Mr. Beto. So just to recap, the original site plan for the Pioneer Place building was for 7 parking spaces, but they have 9 parking spaces now. That means that they are using 2 parking spaces that were never part of the original plan?
I think there are actually 10 there now if you count them. Mm-hmm. But the original site plan showed 7, that's correct. And there was a landscape strip here, I think, and the spaces were probably aligned slightly differently than today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's no surprise that, over time somebody might take some liberties. That's just human nature. I was also curious about that significant hydro box installation. Have you figured out how to leave it in place?
No, I guess the off-site civil design plans are not in yet for the city to review, and when we review the design of the engineering off-site works, I guess that will be looked at.
So that's still in process of being considered?
There we go.
I'm just curious about that. It's a fascinating puzzle, and I just can't help but wonder how that's going to play out, because to move something like that would probably cost a lot of money. But certainly we can see that the design of the building is very innovative. I compliment you on the design. It looks really good. I think it'd be a tremendous addition to our community. But I'll be interested in seeing how that hydro installation plays out. Thank you very much.
Councillor Vandenbroek.
Is the roof garden going to be accessible for all the residents?
No, that'll be a private for the fourth floor only.
For the fourth floor only? Okay. My other, it's actually a comment. The glazing that you're doing on that parkade is fantastic. It is true to Septet design, and it's great to see, and I hope to see future developments go up with that, because it's a huge problem in the city is the open parkades and people breaking into it. So I'm hoping this is going to deter it. It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Seeing no further questions from, well, yes. Up to the microphone right where Roy is.
Thank you, sir. My name is Kenny Nguyen. My family are the owners of the 552103 Street. As we all can see here, is the property that most impacted from this proposal. David, could I please ask you to show me the site plan on the very first page of yours, please? Just have a question and a few comments to make, if I may. First page, site plan. That's not a site plan. The first page. Yeah. More.
That one.
That's right. My question to you is, along the straight line there, it appeared to me it's touching the sidewalk line. Currently, is that correct?
Along here?
Yes. Does it touch the sidewalk line?
Are you talking?
Now, like the way it's shown. Like,
It is set back slightly from the property line, if that's what you need.
my question to you is, the current sidewalk line and the property line is at least 2 meters apart from the entrance of the landway. And that 2 meters expand as it's curved onto 203rd Street. And that is the dedicated land, which is the city land. And I'm not too sure, it doesn't show anywhere in your drawings. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. So,
Yeah, we do have that. It is shown. Just let me try to find that. Oh, we're back off again.
I think what he's looking at, David, is how close to the property line are you?
thank you.
How close to the property line is the building?
Yes. No. The actual sidewalk and the property line and the actual building is built on.
Okay.
What, do you have the meters?
From here
Yes.
to here?
Yes. It's going to be all sidewalk?
Yeah, oh, I see. Sorry, yeah, this will all be sidewalk.
Okay.
All sidewalk.
So my question to you is, the building will be built within the property line, not going to cross the property line?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah.
Now,
That's correct.
because it's built right on the sidewalk, as ladies and gentlemen, if you can focus on the landway, we currently have a terrace box and a small tree. You can see that. Getting out of that landway, especially turning right, already give us a lot of blind spot, and I myself experienced almost hit someone because of those. Now imagine if you have something built right at that corner. I cannot imagine how can we able to see pedestrians walking down that way, and we cannot see them. That's number one blind spot. Number two, the garage. Going in the garage, I think it should be okay, but coming out, vehicles travel on 203rd from the north, making a left turn onto the landway, and vehicle coming out of the package. I'm not too sure, and we expect vehicles also coming out from the package. for my properties. And you see the three ways impact right there. And because your building is built right on the so-called driveway line, with the dotted line right there, right? The third things I observed was the door to, I believe, right down the garage door is the door that you open for the resident to access the elevator. That door on your package plan does pass that red line when the door is actually opened.
No.
If you can show me again, if the package plan.
Oh, this is not.
If you can zoom that where the door is. Oh, no.
Okay. Sorry. This is the door
That's
you're
the door.
talking
That's
about?
right. And where's the line?
The right-of-way line is right here. We're just inside of that line on the property side.
It does. Not too clear from here, but if you zoom up, it does a few inches outside the red line. What my point is, because this subject properties is been built so close to the driveway, can imagine accessing that landway, we will hit that door. And matter worse, we hit someone come out of that door.
Well, you shouldn't hit that door. Because-
Based on the door, is that why they, okay?
No, you shouldn't. If you do, you're going to be driving onto the property, rather than staying within the
Okay,
Layout.
maybe it's not too clear on this one, but my point is, the line of this property is so close to the driveway, sir. As Ron just mentioned, the inside part of the landway has to be wider. It's currently at 12 meters. Upon this project pushed in, they pushed our property at least 5 meters longer than our current properties. And only that, the entrance of the landway is not going to be 6 meters. Do you know the entrance of the landway right now? The meters?
3 meters.
3 meters. And are you going to do it in 6 meters? Or?
That's what the standard is for the lane, yeah, 6 meters.
And because according to that plan, your building line and the property line, it doesn't seem to be 6 meters, have room for you to make 6 meters from there.
Mr. Mayor, I think what we're talking about is the
Right there.
distance
Thank you.
across here.
Yeah.
And that is 6 meters. The difference is, as part of this development application, the owner will be required to dedicate the additional width to make up the 6 meters, whereas right now, part of it is in the statutory right-of-way area, and then there's even a little part here beyond that. So it would be required to dedicate the additional property area to make up the full 6 meters that is between this point and here.
So to clarify, Roy, there will be a widening at that point by the proponent, and he has to dedicate that property to the city as a laneway?
That's correct.
And the laneway will be at how many meters?
6 meters wide is the standard laneway width.
And that's a standard laneway?
That's correct.
The reason I make these comments, sir, we have 20 cars currently parked inside this laneway that need to get access to this. And we have an average of 2 delivery trucks that deliver goods and services to the business from the main floor. Plus, we expect another 10 vehicles using this land. So on a given time, on a day, we have over 30 vehicles using this road. I'm not too sure how compact right there, and people using this as the walkway as well, and we have children who's playing there. So my recommendation is, even the lot size of this subject is small, which is identified by the city staff, trying to build something that fit to size. And David's clients just recently bought this plot 6 months ago. for I'm pretty sure roughly about $350,000 in the C1 commercial zoning. Ideally, if he's able to make this size of a 10,000 square feet for storage, I don't understand how that can happen on a $350,000 lot. So which means by the time of purchase, David Klein is fully aware of the restrictions and limitations based on the unique size of the lot and on the unique the intersections. And not only that, he requesting for the setback from 1.8 to 0 on some of the front, which it not only look huge, but also block the business from our building, from visibility from 203rd Street. So, and a lot of my residents is concerned, and of course a few business owners also here. In the front, basically they run out over roughly about 5 meters, that about over 16 feet longer than our building line, and that's blocked completely. Not just our building, but 2 buildings after on 203rd Street. And of course, the parking, we're going to give out 3 parkings now because they exercise the right-of-way. And this right-of-way is only, technically it's only applicable to our resident of the building because we do have a permit to put a fence on the south side of the building. So therefore, this landway is, we now have to come up with a different way for the resident to park elsewhere. And of course, I cannot say anything because that's the right-of-way, and they exercise that. It just somehow is so big, and I'm more concerned about the safety of the children and the people around the areas. So I'm just asking for council members to really look into, hopefully, reduce the size to fit the lot size. Recognize a small lot, perhaps will fit the size instead of exploring option how to make it bigger. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We will be dealing with this project later, and council colleagues can elaborate on what APC said. Yes.
Hello, my name is Toon. I just have one little concern concerning the property here. So if you see on the left side there, the bottom left and the top right there are doorways and also blind spots for anyone that's walking their dogs or walking their kids out to the park that's located to the west there. So I'm just wondering if there's any devices going to be input to help people see around the corners, because with cars coming in and out, I feel that I'm going to be having to look around the corners all the time in case cars coming at me. I'm just wondering if there's going to be any kind of countermeasures to go against that. Because right now it's dedicated as a laneway, so cars can use it to go in and out, but it's not really meant for pedestrians. But at the same time, there are doorways that we use. I live at 5521, and I don't know. I feel that there should be some kind of maybe mirrors, reduce walls, or just cut walls to a corner or something to let me see. So let me see the cars and let the cars see me when I'm going on corners. Thank you.
Thank you. Further from the audience? We are going to be dealing with this later, but
Hi, my name's Jim. I live at 5521. This fire exit door beside the overhead door, by law, it has to open out. Is it opening out to the right or to the left?
You talk about the one on the bottom left?
That's
It opens out.
to the right or to the left?
If you were standing outside, it would be a left-hand reverse. So in other words, if you're looking at the door, the hinges are here and it swings towards you.
This way
No,
or
the other way.
this way?
So when they open the door, they can see down the laneway towards the adjacent property.
But
so
they
it
can't
swings
see-
into the wall.
They can't see the... So if it opens this way, it opens into the laneway.
What do you mean opens into the laneway? This is the door.
Yeah.
It swings into that wall, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
swings into this wall. And this is
That
your
knee
lane, the
wall is
laneway
like
is here.
3 feet,
Yeah, a 3-foot wall.
so it'll be a 3-foot door.
Mm-hmm.
And that's stairs?
These are stairs going up to the second floor. This is an exit stair coming out of the building from the top floor.
And the fire exit for the underground parking is,
This is one exit door here, and this is the other one. Through this, from here, through the vestibule and out.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, I need Committee of the Whole to rise and report. Councillor Martin, Councillor Arnold, all those in favor? It's unanimous 4. We'll be dealing with this in a few minutes then, David, and thank you. So the going into the regular council agenda now is that the November 21st, 2016 agenda be adopted as circulated. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Vandenbroek, Councillor Pahal, all those in favor? It's unanimous 4. Adoption of the minutes held on November 7th, 2016 be adopted as circulated. Councillor Albrecht and Councillor Pahal, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Now, we are going to be dealing with the business arising from the Committee of the Whole at Development Permit Application 09-16. So this is that development permit application, the one we just dealt with, DP 09-16, to accommodate a 4-story, 7-unit condominium building at 20286 Michaud Crescent with reduced front and exterior setbacks be subject to execution of a development servicing agreement and compliance with the conditions outlined in the Director of Development Services and Economic Development's report. I need a mover and a seconder to get it on the table. Councillor Albrecht and Councillor Storteboom. Discussion. Councillor Albrecht.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me. As part of the Planning Advisory Committee, I just want to report that the committee reviewed this on October 27th. It was approved with no conditions. There was a number of comments about positive in nature for the roof garden, the extra wide sidewalks, the pedestrian corridor. There was some mild concerns about parking, but those were addressed by the applicant. The planting low level for security and septet purposes, and the security gates were also approved by the RCMP in their review process as well. So they were quite taken by the look and the appearance, and in recognition of it being a difficult site, they felt that it would be a nice contribution to that part of the neighborhood. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion by council on this? Any questions from the APC? Councillor Storteboom?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for APC's comments with regard to their committee meeting. I think this is an especially challenging site. I don't remember a site being as challenging for a building envelope as this one. It may be that's why one of the previous speakers identified that his people looked at it but passed on the opportunity. As such, I have to compliment the architect for the design. And as much as I can appreciate that it going next to another building and that will impact the exposure, that was the greatest feature of this particular location, was the significant exposure that it got, because you'll be able to look all the way up to 3rd Street to the overpass and beyond. I think this is very innovative, and I think it will add to our community and its appearance, and I believe that when it is done, we'll be satisfied with the finished component. But there will be some challenges moving forward, and I trust that we'll be able to address any issues that may come up, particularly with regard to that hydro box. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. To staff, Mr. Bedo, the door in question, that won't extend past the building, will it? It will not go into the laneway?
No, it will not, Mr. Mayor.
And the utility boxes that are out front there, you're going to be looking at those from a staffing level?
We will look at those. I know this building has to be serviced through underground wiring. I don't know the answer to the box that's out front on Michaud there. I would need to look into that.
Okay, thank you. And to lighting, there's some new lighting going up on 203rd. Will there be new lighting along that area as well to staff? There's exterior lighting, I'm assuming, or does the exterior lighting include new lighting there?
Yes, it'll be to our new standard.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Councillor Martin?
Thank you. Well, yeah, congratulations to the developer. It's a very nice building. I think it's going to fit very nice on that property. To Mr. Beddoes, in regards to the property next door, 5521, I think it was, where they're encroaching on the right-of-way, I assume you'll be working with the owners to straighten all that out and have the garbage bins moved and the parking spots removed and what have you?
We'll write a letter to the owners of the property about those encroachments as the development, if the development proceeds and
Right.
construction gets underway, to maintain the clear corridor through the public access right-of-way.
Okay, thank you very much.
To staff again, is this to regulated height? It's not, is it over height, below height? Is the height, is what the norm is?
The 4-story height proposed is well within what's permitted in the C1 downtown commercial zone, and is also consistent with the downtown master plan for this area.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm looking at the building and the plans and everything here. I was just trying to accommodate the viewing audience on their questions. So, is there anything else from this council? Seeing none, the motion on the floor is to approve. All those in favor of approval? Against? It's unanimous to move forward with this project. So, thank you for coming. I know it's not always easy when you're dealing with a project like this next to an existing project and building. We ran into this a few years ago when we went from Councillor Martin and Councillor Arnold when we were going from 3 stories to 4 stories to 5 stories along 54th and that general area. So it was quite a shock to the residents that had their units there. And that was because of the guidelines that were changed by the province that allowed some of the buildings to go in there, because it was just a change made by the government. So anyway, carrying on, thank you very much to those that came if they were interested in that. Now we're going to go into Community Spotlight. Nigel Tom from Wellspring Foundation, and welcome, Nigel.
Good evening, Mayor Schaefer, Council and senior staff. Thank you for giving a few moments of your time. What we're going to do is update you on our walk to Banff, the Just One More Step 2016 walk to Banff, and where we are at this point with the foundation.
We're there. It's already over? Yeah, it's already here. Okay.
I put together a slideshow.
Should be able to start it from over here somewhere.
There it is. Okay. Okay, so technical difficulties, but we'll get around them. Okay, the first slide was just to show that we had been walking. I'm going to bring this back a bit. These are the invisible illnesses that we walked for, not only fibromyalgia, which is where we started, but once we got into the planning session, which took us 2 years, we realized that there were a lot more invisible illnesses than we had anticipated. So we decided, rather than walking for just fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, we would walk for all of these invisible illnesses, because there's probably people in this room that have invisible illnesses that we have been walking for, or we had walked for, to bring awareness. As you can see, there's a lot up there, and there's a lot more than that. Okay, this slide is where we walked. We walked from Langley, BC, along Highway 7 to Hope, from Hope to Carameus along Highway 3, from Carameus up through the Okanagan to Sicamous. Sicamous, we walked along Highway 1 to Banff. We stayed for 3 days in Canmore, and the mayor of Canmore requested that we walk through the city because he kept seeing all our purple shirts wandering around the city, so he asked us to walk through the city, which we did on the very last day that we were there. These are the companies that helped us out throughout the walk. We got a tremendous response from every town that we went into. The one big one was Overweighty Food Group. They fed us in every single city that we went into. And they would bring out more food than we could eat at that point, so we took it with us. This is where we started. We walked. We took 39 days to do this. And here we are leaving. We've got the two mayors, some council from the city, and one of the drivers of the motorhome, and Cheryl as we're going. This is Alan walking on the other side of Manning Park towards Princeton. He was always complaining that he was walking uphill. This gentleman has chronic fatigue and found it very, very hard to get up in the morning and walk. This is the past mayor of Princeton walking with Cheryl in Princeton. This is the traffic accident. This is the one that put Cheryl in the hospital. This is the 3500 dually that hit the back of the motorhome. We wrote the motorhome off, we wrote the dually off, we wrote his utility trailer off, and I hit the brakes. It pushed me 8 feet. The only thing that saved the motorhome was the generator. He absolutely demolished the generator and pushed it up through the floor of the bedroom. This is Alan and Leah walking through Highway 1 with the pilot car in front of them. We had a pilot car with us. He was either in behind us or in front of us, depending on the road conditions. This is Heather. This is Mrs. Claus in the picture in the newspaper. She did nothing but collect rocks. We got a massive container of rocks for her. Pine cones. This is us at the entrance to the Canmore City Hall, and it was taken because the sign reads the Walk of Champions. Michael took hundreds of pictures. We put together a calendar for 2017, which is available in the thrift shop. I have some tonight. It's a $20 donation to the foundation. Moving forward, we're partnering with the BC Housing. We're going to provide a lodge for housing. We've got ladies and gentlemen in the foundation that are in dire straits of needing somewhere to live because of what we're doing. We are moving our offices and the shop to the lodge. We have new owners in the mall. They don't want us. They've given us a 30% increase in rent and 6 months to vacate. So we're trying to work now with the city, the township, and BC Housing to try and find us somewhere to house some of our challenged members as far as their rents and their health is concerned. I've got a video that we're going to try and play of Cheryl coming back to the parking lot at the last spike. I don't know if it'll work, but it might. But this is a very interesting video if we can get it to work. Up in the top left-hand corner. There it is.
Okay, come out of the way. Hello, everyone. Come. Hang on. We try it again. Sorry.
Okay, we'll get this working. I had a lot of trouble putting it in the slideshow. So the fact that you have... Where are you, Michael? Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Come and stand over
Thank you for all your prayers. This is what's left of our mobile office, so I'm freezing.
I know.
So just one more step. They didn't cut my shirt off me, guys, because they needed for a surprise if they did. I want to thank you all. We're going to do it. We're going to get out there and walk again. I'm not allowed tomorrow for sure, and then at the most a click when I start, but you darn right, we're pushing this through right to Banff, because that's what we're going to do. And this is without any drugs.
10-4. And I talked to Michelle. She's bringing you bubble wrap. We're going to bubble wrap you. From now on, you're going to be the bubble wrap fibro mama.
All right. Thank you all. Love my people. Thank you.
Show the damage to the motorhome.
That's what's left of where the generator was.
Can you explain the thing for all our viewers?
For all our viewers, I decided that the motorhome needed a little bit of fixing, so that I decided to fix it. And I used Ozonol, Preparation H, and a little Pam, so that it would all stick nicely together. I was going to use gauze, but I thought I'd be into trouble for wasting it. Anyway, that's it. Our Cheryl's home. Thank God she's home and she's safe.
And we're trading awareness.
We all love her. He was sitting with me the whole way. Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so this is the damage that the perpetrator did.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that. I'm out of here for that.
As you can see, we had a lot of fun on the walk, even though Cheryl was 27 stitches in the back of her head.
Hello, everyone.
So thank you for your time. If you have any questions, we'd be more than willing to take them.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say a couple words. I always do. I hate coming to these things. Sorry, guys, but it's not my thing. I got to talk about the heroes. You know, you get tragedies and things happen. I never was allowed to walk again. I'm still not allowed to walk. 5 minutes. That's all I'm allowed to. My heroes, the ones that couldn't walk, they stepped up to the plate. These are the people that couldn't walk, and they walked. They did the click, one click, Sally 2Ks here. We have people that never even walked to step up to that point just outside of Sycamoose. We had to do I was doing 25 clicks a day. I worked up to that. Some of you saw me over here working and all over the towns and the city. And I couldn't walk again. I could direct, though. I sat in my chair and I directed. Every day we got up and we did our, I do always, even on Facebook, I do a positive quote of the day, directed. And these guys stepped up to the plate and they made that 25 clicks. And they did it. And I'm so proud of them. And you need to realize how important these guys have. We have one person here who has had how many heart operations, Heather? Just one big one.
5 bypasses.
Yeah, like they walked. So anyone can do it if they choose to do it, and they did it. While they were waiting for me to get out of the hospital in Salmon Arm, they were at the last spike. Now, if anyone's ever been there, it's a tourist place. They were walking the parking lot. They didn't stop until they saw me show up. And then they were cheering, and I love them all. And just had to share with you that we did it. I personally didn't finish it, but I did because I was there. And Michaud has done not hundreds of pictures, thousands of pictures. So you're going to be hearing a lot because we're writing the book. Actually, that's what I'm doing with chapters from all of our walkers. And we got a movie coming, the documentary. So, and this is Michaud. I threw him off the road as the motorhome came. I heard the explosion. Rudy knows, I've said this before. It's like, if you ever saw that movie Twister, and all that stuff is flying in the air, when I heard the explosion, I automatically pushed him out of the way. He ended up in the ditch. I turned around, and I tried to stop the motorhome. Super one, I don't know. And so, but all you saw was this debris coming at me. And then you know what I said to myself? Whatever's going to happen is God's hands. And I saw Nigel looking at me, and I looked at him. So that is a phenomenal experience. Negative at all? No, it was all positive. And we're really proud of our team that did it. Thank you. Good.
Well, thank you, Nigel and Cheryl.
Thank you.
And Michael for coming, sharing your experience there.
We wanted to come and update. We'd been asked by the council members to come and update, so that's what we did.
You gave us an update.
Okay.
And that's perfect. I know there is a calendar, I believe, that Ms. Joelle bought, and it's hanging in the council, well, will be hanging in the
Great.
council
Yeah.
break room.
Great. Thank you very much. We have a question.
No, I actually have a comment. I'm very happy that you guys are doing this. As someone that does suffer from one of the items on there, endometriosis, my sister also suffers from lupus. Usually they're diseases that are very hard to diagnose. Doctors don't recognize them. Usually you have to go to 5 or 6 different doctors to even get a nod that there's something wrong with you. So to have to persevere through that to begin with, to even be diagnosed, and to do what you folks have done is absolutely amazing, and I applaud you, because the more awareness there is out there for all those things, the better off we're all going to be. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Storteboom?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know I love you guys. You always bring such joy with you when you come. It's just a pleasure to be hanging out with you, and I just want to say I really admire you for your accomplishment, and your spirit of tenacity is something to be, well, I'm proud of you for having accomplished what you set out to do. When I first heard that this was your intention, I was a little bit overwhelmed. You even challenged me to walk with you, and I thought, no, Rudy can't walk to Banff. That's too far. But you did it. It's amazing. It's an amazing accomplishment. So thank you very much for all that you do to bring awareness to those challenges that so many people live with every day that are not clearly visible. And I know that moving forward, we can all draw courage from your accomplishment and cheer you on as you move forward. Thank you very much. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you to the both of you, 3 of you, and the other 3 in the peanut gallery. So hopefully you're successful. Thank you. The next item we have is under the Mayor's report, regular council meetings. December 5th is the next one. The one after that will be December the 12th, and my time flies. Metro Vancouver, Councillor Storteboom, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just briefly, if I may, there has not been a Board of Directors meeting or Climate Action Committee meeting since our city's most recently regularly scheduled meeting. However, it is worth noting that at the recent Zero Waste Committee conference, or the Zero Waste Conference, the National Zero Waste Council announced a new national food waste reduction strategy in order to help address climate change, reduce municipal disposal costs, and improve community resiliency. The strategy is based on 3 principles: new government policies, innovation in technology and community infrastructure, and shifting consumer behavior. So we'll look forward to seeing those because they will be impacting us as a municipality. The success of the strategy depends on the collaboration with the Government of Canada and federal government involvement. It could include setting a national food waste reduction target of 50% by 2030, creating a tax incentive for food donations for charities, and revising product labeling laws to dispel confusion about best before dates. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. That is my report.
Good. Thank you, Councillor Storteboom. Councillor Martin, Library.
Thank you very much. The City of Langley Library happenings. Coming up Friday, November the 25th to December the 16th is the Essential Skills for Job Success. This program runs for 3 hours each week and helps newcomers and Canadian-born adults improve their literacy skills in order to succeed in the workplace. It is free and offered in cooperation with the Langley Literacy Network. Library staff will familiarize participants with library resources and services that relate to literacy and employment. Art critiques, Monday, November the 28th from 6:45 to 8:45 p.m. Visual artists at every stage of their careers are invited to bring their artwork and receive constructive individual and group feedback in a lighthearted, supportive environment. Sponsored by the Langley Arts Council, and now in their 9th year, these art critiques with Lolita Hamill are going strong, and you can learn more at www.langleyarts.ca and www.lahitamil.com instruction. December the 8th from 6 till 7 p.m., Shell Buzzy House Smart. You can join the library in welcoming Shell Buzzy as he delivers the how to, what to, where to, why to, when to, and who to of home improvement. Shell Buzzy leads the House Smart Home Services Referral Network, a service he created to help homeowners find qualified and reliable tradespeople, suppliers, and products for their home improvement projects. Shell is nationally recognized with more than 50 years of home improvement industry experience under his belt. The program will highlight the library's considerable collection of home improvement and DIY resources. And for more information, you can visit his website at www.askshell.com. And the Geek Club, Tuesday, December the 6th from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tweens and teens get together with library staff and see where the evening takes them, from games, snacks, and crafting to discussions on interstellar travel, an hour and a half of unplanned enjoyable activity. And the last item I have is the Prose Reading and Critique Group. It's the 3rd Wednesday of each month from 7 till 8:30 p.m. If writing is your passion, this is the gathering for you. Prose writers, new and experienced, of almost any genre, will read their work publicly, followed by group feedback. You can bring your latest composition and meet fellow authors, a partnership of the City of Langley Library and the Langley Writers Guild. And that's the library happenings. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. I've got one item that I'm going to be doing myself here, and very proud to be doing it. It's the Fraser Valley Commercial Building Award. And the City of Langley received this the other day. The Timms Community Center won the Community Institutional Building Award of Excellence at the 5th Annual Fraser Valley Commercial Building Awards on Thursday, November 17th at the Cascades Casino Resort in Langley. The Fraser Valley Commercial Building Awards celebrate the best in commercial and industrial construction projects completed between January 1st, 2015 and August 31st, 2016. A record 40 finalists were competing for top honors in 11 categories. The City of Langley was in with 6 others, and itself, for 7 in that group. It was institutional, commercial, industrial, multifamily, recreational, and renovation. You know, for myself, I'm just totally overjoyed to receive this for our community focused project. And what made this special is that the staff were on a working committee along with the architect and the general contractor and council as well. This wasn't just 1 or 2 people that decided to work with the architect. This was the entire council. And I think that's what made it very unique, that this council got together, you know, put their shoulders to the grindstone and asked many questions. And then we gave it to staff, and then staff worked on it for hours. So when you think of the City of Langley receiving this prestigious award, very prestigious, by the pros out there, and it's a very special award. When you take a look at the project itself, you know, it's a fancy commercial building award program. You know, it goes out to many people, and it's a new facility. It's a new civic facility. It's the cultural hub of the Fraser Valley for the library. I know it's a all-in-one state-of-the-art building, and it's the biggest facility project ever taken by the City of Langley. So, and the kicker is that this project came in and we're still debt-free. So the City of Langley accomplished probably, I would think, the impossible, is to have an award-winning building that was debt-free. And that particular night, on that same night, there was a couple of other buildings that were recognized. The under renovation restoration was the West Group property, the Bed Bath and Beyond building. It was in a finalist. It didn't win the award, but it was in the finalist. And there was two others in as well, and one was the Langley Jaguar Land Rover dealership that was in there, and the automotive open road exotics, which won an award. So not only did the city of Langley win one, so did the Open Road Auto Group for their exotic building. And if Councillor Albrecht is looking for a Ferrari, it's probably a $2.5 million one with your name all over it sitting in there, you know, and
his name right on.
yeah, it's you know, pretty nice place to go visit, kick a few tires, and it's quite something to go to this event. Councillor Martin was there with me, Councillor Stortaboom was there, and I know they were having some great discussions with the other people around, and yeah, great discussions. Councillor Albrecht.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it is something that's a real point of pride, but I wanted to excuse me, just wanted to remind council that there were 3 other members of council that sat on that originating committee that got this ball rolling, and we're here to reap the rewards and the recognition, but it's those previous council members that deserve the credit for taking that bold step forward and helping with that decision-making process. So thank you.
Councillor Stortaboom.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate you bringing that up. It's a real trophy for our community to be recognized for this significant accomplishment, and I believe that it sends a message to the greater community that the City of Langley is looking for innovation, and we're looking to redevelop some of our properties here in the City of Langley. And I look forward to this spurring new activity and getting us that recognition for having won this trophy, this tremendous award. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Martin, I know that the Tim Center was near and dear to your heart, and you must be extremely pleased that this award came across.
Yes, obviously, as pleased as we all are. You know, looking at the finalists in the book, you know, you think, okay, how do we compare to this finalist? And they're just pictures. And there was one building that I thought had a really good chance of winning, and they actually won the Award of Merit. So when they won that, I thought, well, we might have a good chance. So it was really nice. It was a lovely evening, and I was happy to be there attending with you and Councillor Stortaboom. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not too often you get to pat yourself on the back and twist your elbow back there, but you know, for the citizens of Langley City, they should be quite proud of this facility and the track and the exercise rooms and the meeting rooms. And anyway, I was just pretty stoked on behalf of the city. Anyway, it was a great night. So again, I'll just finish off by saying thank you again to the staff, because I know it couldn't have been done without the staff. Their buy-in was 101%. You know, you know, they went above and beyond to make it all work for everybody, and the meetings they had after hours, before hours, just to get it all going. So, bylaws. Bylaw 3006, zoning amendment bylaw. That's at 5501, 5503, 198th Street, and 19771 55A Avenue. I need a mover for first, second, and third reading of this. Councillor Martin. Councillor Albrecht. I saw 3 hands go up right away. Is there any discussion on this one at all? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous 4. Did I miss one? Oh, Councillor Arnold. Sorry, Jack. I know admin report, we've got the 2015 corporate energy and GHG emission inventory. And Mr. Beto, you're up to bat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Every year since 2009, the city's taken an inventory of its energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. And just before I present the results of the 2015 corporate energy and GHG emissions inventory, I'd like to provide a little context and background on why the city produces annual inventories. In 2002, the city joined the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Partners for Climate Protection program, committing to reducing greenhouse gases through a 5-milestone framework administered by FCM. The city endorsed the Provincial Climate Action Charter in 2009, making a voluntary commitment to measure and report its GHG emissions and to become carbon neutral in its corporate operations by 2012. In 2010, the city adopted a sustainability framework and a corporate energy and GHG emissions plan that included a target to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from their 2008 level by 12% for its corporate operations by 2018. And that target was later embedded as policy in the official community plan. The city reports its corporate emissions each year to the province as part of CARIP, the Climate Action Revenue Incentive Program. And under CARIP, the city receives refunds of the carbon taxes paid in the previous year. For 2015, this is a summary of our corporate inventory, and a more detailed inventory by sector is attached to the staff report in your agenda package. This table shows the breakdown of consumption and costs by energy type. And we always like to show costs to emphasize that reducing energy consumption is not only about reducing emissions, but also about saving money. And the 704 tons total in our inventory includes emissions from contracted services as well. And since 2012, the province has required local governments to report emissions from contracted services as well as emissions from services that they directly provide. In 2015, the city's contracted services emissions amounted to 72 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, down significantly from 2014, and there's an explanation of why in the staff report. And you can see here by the energy types that this is comprised of fuel burned by the contractors' vehicles. So in terms of progress overall, how are we doing? Well, the baseline inventory was for 2008 and was completed as part of the work carried out in 2009 on the city's corporate energy and GHG emissions plan. And in order to compare emissions from year to year, we have excluded contracted services from this table since we don't have data from contractors prior to 2012. And another way of visualizing the numbers in the table is in a bar chart. You see here different colors for the different energy types. And there's considerable variability year to year, but the trend is in the right direction. So the city so far is on track to exceed the targeted reduction identified in the OCP. That is to lower greenhouse gas emissions by 134 tons by 2018. Some of the reductions achieved by the city are the result of actions taken in support of corporate energy and GHG emissions plan, including such things as in the building sector, more efficient lighting, proximity detector switches, ultraviolet window film, high-efficiency HVAC systems, high-efficiency boilers. In the lighting sector, more efficient street lighting and traffic signals, LED lighting in McBurney Plaza and the City Hall Tim's parking lot. And then in the vehicle fleet, we try to replace vehicles as much as possible with more efficient vehicles. And in our fleet, we now have 1 hybrid, 1 low emissions vehicle, and 2 electric vehicles, and 2 electric vehicle charging stations. And then finally, in the water and wastewater sector, we try to replace pumps with more efficient pumps when it's time to do so. Being carbon neutral in the BC local government context means that you have either eliminated your carbon emissions or balanced your emissions with credits received for certified carbon reduction projects or offsets purchased through the Pacific Carbon Trust. And Council may recall that the city was able to achieve carbon neutral status in 2012 and 2013. And after reporting a small carbon footprint of 76 tons in 2014, staff are pleased to report that the city returned to carbon neutral status in 2015. As the table shows, the city was able to reduce its emissions in 2015 by applying certified credits received from Metro Vancouver's Solid Waste Management Program, by diverting organic waste from the landfill to composting. The amount of methane gas produced from decomposition and released into the atmosphere is reduced. And methane is a potent greenhouse gas with 21 times the potential for atmospheric warming of carbon dioxide. As a member of Metro Vancouver, the city also received credits for the Vancouver Landfill Gas Capture Optimization Project, which further prevents the release of methane into the atmosphere. And looking ahead in the future, the city will continue to implement GHG reduction initiatives in accordance with its commitments and plans, including lighting replacements, vehicle replacements, and HVAC efficiency retrofits. One such example, this fall the city installed a new high-efficiency boiler system at Al Anderson Memorial Pool. And we targeted that initiative in particular because the previous system was the largest single source of GHG emissions in the city's corporate inventory, accounting for 77 tons of CO2e. The new system is expected to reduce energy consumption and GHG emissions by at least 30%. And that concludes my presentation, Mr. Mayor.
Questions? No questions? Once, twice, 3 times? Oh. Councillor Stortable.
Well, just quickly, if I may, thank you very much for your report. I realize the importance of it, and I was just wondering if you could identify for myself and or the viewing public the benefits of the greenhouse gas control that we're affecting in our community and throughout the region.
Well, I guess twofold, Mr. Mayor. First, I guess looking in the bigger perspective, the global perspective, the goal is to reduce greenhouse gases that have been identified as being the cause of, or at least a contributor rather, to global warming. So in that sense, we're doing our small part in terms of our corporate operations to reducing that phenomenon. But then secondly, I think as I alluded to earlier, in doing so, we're also reducing energy consumption and thereby costs to the taxpayer. So we always look at it from those two perspectives in our work.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Beto. You've always got the answer for me.
Thank you, Roy. A very informative report, and it's great to see the city moving in that downward projected slide. So I guess less is better. So, seeing nothing else, I need a mover and a seconder to receive this report. I didn't even have to look that way yet. Councillor Pahal, Councillor Vandenbroek. Jack, anything? No. I missed Jack earlier to the viewing audience. All those in favor of receiving the report? It's unanimous. New, unfinished, anything? Councillor Albrecht.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to remind everybody that I think we are 2.5 weeks away from our Magica Christmas Parade. That's 2.5 weeks. So we've got, I believe, upwards of 50 entries, or pushing that number. We're really pushing to have the theme, the decorating, the lighting, everything of that nature for the events in that program. So we're really looking forward to it. I think we got some ice sculptures, some entertainment for the kids down in McBurney Plaza. We've got a bunch of entertainment and singers and carolers, hot chocolate. It's going to be fun for everyone. So please mark it on your calendar. That's December 3rd. And of course we have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and the tree lighting event, so it will be spectacular. The weather will cooperate this year. I've got a guarantee from Mr. Baumhoff, our Director of Engineering. So we'll hold him accountable if it's not, and it's going to be fun for everyone. So please entertain yourselves with it.
The date was when?
December 3rd.
December 3rd.
6 p.m. sharp.
6. Councillor Stortaboom.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to brag on yesterday's event. Thank you for carrying at Christmas Eve. It was wonderful. We were the minority in a room with probably about 500 women. There was half a dozen men. And they were all there to have a good time and raise money for the Langley Christmas Bureau this year. I was privileged to invite my mother to attend, and she was happy to be there. She said she felt like a princess at 86 years old.
Yeah, I know Councillor Vandenbroek was there with a table full of partiers with their fascinators. I know the photo booth photos are quite something. Yeah, a little crazy. Councillor Stortaboom was there with tucks and tails. And the two ladies that were up and about and got this thing really rolling was Jack Froze's wife, Debbie Froze, and my wife, Jean Schaefer. And we had the assistance of our daughters, Marilyn Morgan and Kirsten Charlesworth, and they had an incredible staff. Just like this group here, our staff are incredible. They had an incredible staff putting this event together that hopefully should raise over $30,000 for the Christmas Bureau, and that's a net figure. So I know the ladies were compiling everything. They were pretty exhausted today. So to have a function that was over, well, there was seating for 510, and it was incredible. So I saw Dan from the Langley Times there taking some photos, and I should have tried to get him embarrassed by Elvis or something like that, you know. But Elvis was in the building in the pink Cadillac. So again, motion to adjourn. Oh, yes. We're out of here.